When news broke that a former McLaren heavyweight had met privately with Lewis Hamilton, the Formula One world sat up and took notice. At first glance, it seemed like an unusual pairing, but the timing could not be more intriguing. Ferrari's current struggles have left Hamilton frustrated in what was expected to be a bold career move. Meanwhile, whispers of potential future changes have swirled through the paddock. This meeting, sources claim, wasn't a casual catch-up. It came just as Ferrari's championship hopes continued to slip further out of reach, making the conversation's possible content all the more fascinating. For a seven-time world champion like Hamilton, time is a precious resource, and he has been vocal about wanting a competitive package. The ex-McLaren figure, once pivotal in shaping winning operations, is no stranger to turning around struggling teams. Could this be the beginning of a strategic shift, a transfer of ideas, or even the start of a behind-the-scenes negotiation? Whatever the case, it has sparked a wave of speculation that could reshape the grid's future. When news broke that a former McLaren heavyweight had met privately with Lewis Hamilton, the Formula One world sat up and took notice. At first glance, it seemed like an unusual pairing, but the timing could not be more intriguing. Ferrari's current struggles have left Hamilton frustrated in what was expected to be a bold career move. Meanwhile, whispers of potential future changes have swirled through the paddock. This meeting, sources claim, wasn't a casual catch-up. It came just as Ferrari's championship hopes continued to slip further out of reach, making the conversation's possible content all the more fascinating. For a seven-time world champion like Hamilton, time is a precious resource, and he has been vocal about wanting a competitive package. The ex-McLaren figure, once pivotal in shaping winning operations, is no stranger to turning around struggling teams. Could this be the beginning of a strategic shift, a transfer of ideas, or even the start of a behind-the-scenes negotiation? Whatever the case, it has sparked a wave of speculation that could reshape the grid's future. Ferrari entered the season with renewed optimism, boasting bold technical upgrades and a leadership vision aimed at ending their championship drought. However, as the year progressed, cracks began to appear. Reliability problems, inconsistent race strategies, and difficulties in matching the pace of Red Bull and McLaren have eroded confidence both inside and outside the team. Hamilton, who joined Ferrari with dreams of adding to his legacy, has found himself battling for podiums rather than victories. The car's potential has often been overshadowed by operational missteps, leaving fans questioning whether the team can truly deliver under pressure. These struggles have magnified internal tensions, with senior figures reportedly debating the team's long-term direction. For Hamilton, every race is a reminder that time is ticking, and opportunities to secure another title are shrinking. The meeting with the ex-McLaren figure gains more weight when viewed against this backdrop of underperformance. It suggests that the search for solutions, or perhaps new alliances, is already underway. The ex-McLaren figure in question carries a reputation built on precision, innovation, and an ability to rally a team around a winning goal. During their tenure at McLaren, they played a key role in cultivating a culture of relentless improvement and technical excellence. This is the same environment where Hamilton himself rose to prominence, claiming his first world championship. The shared history between the two means there is already a foundation of mutual trust and respect. Their previous collaboration was marked by an openness to risk-taking in pursuit of performance gains, a stark contrast to Ferrari's current cautious and sometimes reactive approach. This connection raises the possibility that the recent meeting was more than a friendly reunion. It may have involved discussions about engineering philosophies, potential team restructuring, or even pathways for Hamilton to influence future car development. If Ferrari is unable to make a significant leap forward soon, such insights could become critical to determining Hamilton's next steps in the sport. In Formula One, private meetings between high-profile figures are rarely without strategic intent. For Hamilton, Aligning with an influential technical mind could help tilt the balance in his favor during this critical phase of his career. For the ex-McLaren figure, the conversation could be an opportunity to re-enter the competitive spotlight, either through a formal advisory role or a full-time return to the paddock. The implications stretch beyond Ferrari. Rival teams would be quick to react if such a partnership were to materialize. Knowledge transfer in F1 is invaluable, and even subtle guidance on setup philosophies, data interpretation, or race strategies can alter a team's trajectory. The meeting's timing, as Ferrari faces increased scrutiny from fans and stakeholders, suggests that both parties are aware of the urgency. It may also indicate that behind the scenes, there is recognition that current efforts alone will not be enough to close the gap to the front of the grid. Inside Ferrari, the mood is increasingly complex. Publicly, team leaders project confidence, emphasizing long-term progress and future upgrades. Privately, however, there is concern that the current leadership structure may lack the agility to adapt quickly enough to evolving competition. Hamilton's arrival was meant to be a catalyst for change, but adapting the team's deep-rooted processes to match his expectations has proven difficult. The Italian squad's culture, stiatit, ped in tradition, sometimes resists rapid transformation. Any outside influence, particularly from a figure with a McLaren background, could disrupt the balance. For better or worse, the tension between innovation and heritage has been a recurring theme in Ferrari's modern era. The possibility of Hamilton having a trusted ally with a proven track record could strengthen his voice within the team. However, it could also fuel political friction among senior personnel, especially if changes challenge the established chain of command. These dynamics will be crucial in determining whether Ferrari's performance can improve in the short term. The current Formula One grid is more competitive than it has been in years. Red Bull continues to dominate through superior aerodynamic efficiency and operational execution, while McLaren has emerged as a consistent challenger. Mercedes, though not at their peak, remains capable of strong results, and Aston Martin is quietly building momentum. In such an environment, marginal gains can make the difference between a podium and a midfield finish. Ferrari's inability to consistently extract performance has put them under increasing pressure, particularly as their rivals demonstrate rapid in-season development. Hamilton's meeting with the ex-McLaren figure must be seen in this context, a potential move to secure competitive insight that could bridge the gap. Whether the focus is on technical innovation, strategic refinement, or driver feedback integration, the objective is clear: find a way to compete at the sharp end of the grid again. The urgency is compounded by the fact that opportunities for breakthrough improvements are becoming increasingly rare. At this stage in his career, Hamilton's decisions are as much about legacy as they are about immediate performance. Joining Ferrari was a statement of ambition, but it came with inherent risk. While a world championship in red would cement his status in motorsport, continued underperformance could dilute that narrative. The meeting with the ex-McLaren figure suggests that Hamilton is unwilling to leave his fate entirely in the hands of existing team structures. He has always valued input from trusted advisors and is known for seeking out diverse perspectives on car setup, racecraft, and career planning. Any strategic advice or technical insight from a proven winner could influence how he navigates the next seasons. If Ferrari cannot deliver a championship-caliber car within the next development cycle, Hamilton may be forced to reassess his options, a reality that adds extra weight to every move he makes behind the scenes. Once whispers of the meeting began circulating, the motorsport media quickly picked up the story. Headlines speculated about possible team changes, while insiders debated the implications for both Hamilton and Ferrari. Within the paddock, such encounters are rarely dismissed as coincidence. Rival teams will be analyzing the situation closely, considering whether this could signal unrest at Ferrari or an upcoming shift in competitive alliances. Fans, too, are divided. Some see the move as a proactive step by Hamilton to secure his future competitiveness, while others interpret it as a sign of dissatisfaction with his current situation. The ambiguity of the meeting's purpose has only intensified speculation. In a sport where perception often shapes reality, the optics of this event could influence contract negotiations, sponsor confidence, and even driver market activity. The true nature of the discussion remains known only to those involved, but its ripple effects are already being felt across the championship. If the discussions between Hamilton and the ex-McLaren figure lead to a formal collaboration, several scenarios could unfold. The most straightforward would be the figure taking on an advisory role at Ferrari, providing strategic input to enhance performance. Another possibility is that Hamilton could be exploring pathways for the figure to join a different team entirely, one that could offer him a more competitive car in the future. There is also the chance that this was part of a broader exchange of ideas, with no immediate contractual outcome but potential long-term influence. Regardless of the specifics, the meeting adds a layer of uncertainty to the driver and technical personnel markets. In Formula One, change often happens in waves, and a single high-profile move can trigger a chain reaction across multiple teams. As the season progresses, the clarity of Ferrari's competitive direction will determine whether this meeting becomes a footnote or a turning point. This development arrives at a pivotal moment for Hamilton, Ferrari, and the ex-McLaren figure. For Hamilton, the stakes are immense. Every season that passes without a championship-caliber car narrows his window for adding to his legacy. For Ferrari, the pressure to deliver is greater than ever, with fans and stakeholders expecting visible progress. For the ex-McLaren figure, the opportunity to influence a top team's trajectory could mark a significant return to the sport's competitive forefront. Whether the meeting was about immediate solutions, long-term strategy, or personal counsel, it underscores a central truth of Formula One. Success is never static. Alliances shift, strategies evolve, and the most successful figures are those who anticipate change rather than react to it. As the paddock continues to speculate, one thing is certain. The next chapters in this story will be closely watched, and their impact could reach far beyond the walls of Maranello.